Alright, well, we're here, we're live. Terry's
We
also
are
here.
live.
We're watching
I am here.
Legends and Duel Links Latam. I think they're ready to go. Terry's on the way to the room.
I'm on my way to the room. I was being held up by nothing important.
And we're, I guess we're just, like, they were all ready to go on the table, and now we're just, like, waiting. Okay, here we go.
Alrighty. Oh, that's not what I meant to click.
I have no idea how that channel thing works, so I'm not going to worry about it. I guess it's someone else's problem. Also, loading screen. We're loading. There we go. Now we're in the game. Now we're going to the game.
I'm behind!
This is
Because
fine.
I clicked on the wrong thing. I tried to click on PvP Arena, but I clicked on the event in the background.
Did they, okay, good.
I,
Are they on the right side? Are they on the right side? They are. Sweet. That's probably coincidental. Hello, High Beast. Oh wow, I guess we can start off slow, because they're off to the races. We got, Fire Kings and, Hercules in there. Yeah, so you're in the chat. You're watching now too. You're catching up.
I'm just behind. I just need to watch the game start.
I haven't figured out how I reverse the names yet, but I'll figure that out later if it comes up. It will.
Oh, I'm like way behind. Jeez, you're on turn 3.
It's fine.
It's fine.
There will be later hype beasts, don't worry.
We'll get memes eventually.
So I was not expecting that quick of a start, but I guess we have Harveys and Fire Kings.
Harpies versus Fire Kings.
How
I don't
did
play
they
this
open
game.
up
I don't
as,
know.
Fire Kings is in a war. I haven't been paying attention to that.
I do not even know what that can advantage here. Currently, it looks like Fire King is kind of having a field day with Harpies. At the very least, I'm still on.
Oh, we're on
different
turns, yeah. Because right now it doesn't look like that over here.
Okay, yeah, he is way ahead. He actually did something. Okay.
Yeah, Terry's a little behind.
I'm a little behind in being. Oh, right, I have voice line. Just turn that off. That's
Oh yeah,
probably a good idea.
that will slow you down too, because I don't have voice lines on.
That would. Okay, this should go by a lot more quickly now.
Because right now, like, he's just dead. He doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
And
It is Fire King, so it's quite likely that he does.
this is true.
Hand trap dot deck.
Well, I see
Pretty
how I
likely.
adjusted. I see where the top one. How I should reverse name. Sweet. And he's
Oh, he
dead.
actually-
He actually didn't have
okay.
anything.
Actually, doesn't.
Alright, so the winner is Lawless. Go ahead and give him a win. And oops, I just gave I misclicked that. I just gave them 10. I don't know how to. I guess I did delete it first. We're not that quick of a war. There we go. And then put them up game. Now take a minute to adjust. I think it's taking a minute to adjust anyway. Yep, the best two teams are finally meeting. Look at them. Look at those records. Oh, and they're ready to go. I don't think that was it was a repeat. Okay, I'll adjust that then.
Repeating right from the start.
Right. You're not wrong.
Harpy's winning the coin flip. He is going to be able to just do whatever he wants, uninterrupted from anything that Yosh could possibly have. Like, Arvada definitely stops Harpy plays, and he's able to just play completely free of that, which is nice.
I was looking at the overlays. I wonder why it's being a little weird there. It's fine now. Is the other deck? No idea. We didn't get to see it. Oh, I mean, the other deck on the table is Fire King, but we don't know what the other deck, their alternative was.
Mm-hmm.
But they chose Fire King, sending again versus Harpy. Like
Harpy's with a very strong opening here.
I'm not quite sure. Like, I wonder what your other deck was if you're sending, you're repeating Fire King into Harpy. Don't think that's a great matchup? I don't know. Looks like it is. I've played neither deck,
Well,
but...
Well, you see, you can just, like, wipe the board a bunch, and, like, what do? I don't know how this matchup works. I don't play this game.
Good. Oh, you started playing the game yesterday,
awful.
so...
I started playing the game yesterday, yes, that is true. However, I do kind of question activating Egotist here because he did this and then he used Feather Rest, so he couldn't actually use the body on field. There might be a reason for it, but well, especially against Fire King, where they can just wipe the board. But we shall see.
Yeah, we will.
Yosh is going to open up with the standard Fire King Island Runix opening. You know, that's the thing, right? He couldn't make Roach because he activated Feather Rest immediately after it using Egotist.
Right. Because you're locked into wins.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so it's gonna come out.
Runic's going to activate.
I guess
He does
Arvada
Lolly.
may or may not negate. Don't know if you want to negate. Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
No response from Lolliet. He is going to reactivate the Harpy's Hunting Ground. Is he able to push for game this turn?
It's not coming back. It let it die.
No comment. Oh, Yosh going to flip the Perfumer face down. But Lolliet does have the Swallow's Nest in response. This is also going to allow him to potentially pop the Fire King Island here. Lolliet adds the second Elegant Egotist from deck to hand.
Yeah, it's only flipped this it's only flipped by battle, so that's next turn for card effect.
Elegant Egotist going to summon Harpy Lady. I forget what number this is. Is this 3?
That's 1.
No, it's 1.
I think 3 is the one with like it hates on monsters it battled or something like that.
Yeah.
Might
2
be
is bad,
flips.
3 is a decent, 1 is the one that people play.
Yeah.
1 or Cyber. He's going to overlay both of these
Reasonable
into
pick here.
Abyss Dweller. Actually very good for Lolliet here.
No floating for you. Provided you remember to shotgun it later.
Going to use Veil in response to after the direct attack. Going to regain all damage he took and just get that much closer to Trigger and Destiny Draw.
But not get in range it, not be able to use it yet, so that's...
Oracle and Enfei is going to add back a card. He is spending a good amount of time. Yep. Decides to add back Feather Rest, which was honestly pretty expected.
Well, remember he will use it at the right time, okay. They don't wait to stand by for that.
Yep. He's going to use this in draw phase. Lolly, it's just going to 7-card and pass. Not Lolly, it's Gosh. Words.
This is fine.
This is fine.
Shiny little Prison Oracle. 2 Prison Oracles actually, by the looks of it. Yep.
Feather Rest will be targeting both Oracles and the Cyber Slash. That is the name. I know the names of cards.
I don't, so it's
Top deck. Top deck's Heartbeat Channeler. I think it was a top deck at least.
probably because I feel like
Ooh, Breakthrough Skill going to be chained in response to the Heartbeat Channeler, but Swallow's Nest is going to make the Breakthrough Skill, I'm going to use a word that no one likes, fizzle.
resolve with no effect. Which is, I think that's also wrong, but whatever.
It just loses target. That's all that happens, but I'm going to say fizzle because Yu-Gi-Oh players don't like that word, and Yu-Gi-Oh players suck, so fizzle it is.
I think it's just judges who don't like the word specifically. Yu-Gi-Oh players are fine with it.
Going to swing. Yoshi's debating. Yosh decides to not, or sorry, Lolliet. I know the players. Lolliet decides to not give Yosh Destiny Draw here.
There's no reason to, really.
Yosh is playing a top deck game. I don't know if he can actually do anything to break through this. Actually, top deck Arvada might actually be able to help. A lot.
You gotta, it'll get a warning later, don't worry, Shiny.
What did I say?
It's talking about Fizzle. And now I got the warning too.
Fizzle. I thought
No.
Already.
It was on the joke.
I can. I'm just trying to keep it to a minimum. Featherrest here going to draw 2 cards. He is going to.
Yeah, try to tend the bounce. Better have
I'm
it.
going to chain Cyber Slash
He does
on
have
Arvada, but Arvada does actually have the water to negate that. Runic's
That's right.
destroyed,
I
which
forget
means
this thing doesn't destroy. It just negates.
Mhm.
It destroys a card. It does destroy, but it's not their card. It's your card.
Yeah. He does have the Garunic. He does have another Garunix, which means that he is going to be able to start looping Garunix here.
Hey, just OTK,
he
it'll be
is-
fine.
If Lolliet can, I don't know, make Malevolent Sin or something, he could push for lethal, but actually he can't because he activated Feather Rest. So the question now becomes, how much can he push for? He will... Actually, I can't say that. That would actually be coaching. I can't say anything beyond that.
That's fine.
Does activate Oracle. Oracle. Mode.
Alright, do you see a microwave there? We haven't dropped frames, so that's it's not us.
Only it will just set a card. Set a card. Oracle does pass turn. Now this is, I'm not entirely sure if this was correct as well. No, because if you swing, you give him Destiny Draw, but if you don't swing, Yosh threatens lethal, which means the background card must be able to stop whatever is going on here.
I want to see it drowning.
Oh, drowning would be
I
funny.
don't think it's likely, but I want to see it.
It's very unlikely, but it would be very fun.
It's a random drowning in a deck it probably doesn't need to be in.
Yosh just goes straight to battle phase. Is Lolliet able to... Book of
That
Moon
makes more sense. I was
going to
thinking,
hit.
like, it's probably booked, but I want it to be drowning.
He is going to flip the one that was summoned off of Arvada, which is going to stop it from destroying end phase, which will effectively stop the Garunix loop for now. I believe
it was
I don't know if
drop
that was
turn.
not the... Yeah. Is going to do this. Gets to summon this. Ooh, he is running out of Heartbeat targets in deck, though.
You don't need a deck.
Who needs a deck? is going to summon
Well, apparently he
the
does.
Lady Puppets. Feather Rest, once again, for the third time this duel.
He's not
Just
quite
wanna
in ray
keep-
range, but that'd be nice. That'd be funny.
He's just going to keep recycling the Oracles and the Cyber Slash, putting up a really good fight against the Fire Kings here. Draw 2. I do not believe he can push lethal this turn, but he can definitely make a fairly good push. Just going a pass turn here.
The
Respectable.
Arvada floats off battle or whatever. Not
It does.
Gurunix.
It does. Yep, it would let him just summon Arvada. I believe that would be his final Arvada. Yeah, he does have 2 engrave.
Still not a bad spot if his back row do anything.
We're going to see a Baron here. This does threaten lethal, but I think it's fairly safe to assume that Lolliot's back row is going to be able to stop this.
Wall of D, come on. No, it's another Pokemon.
Book-a-Moon number 2. And he's also going to chain Cyber Slash.
I feel like you maybe want to book the... Why are we doing that now?
No, it's fine.
Oh,
Breakthrough
it
stuff.
makes
This
sense.
was correct.
Breakthrough, okay. Well, yeah.
And even then, you kind of want to keep Baron on attack to maximize damage. I think it would maximize damage. Well,
Oh yeah, this is card pick, not battle, that it does that. I'm thinking the other one.
well, it wouldn't maximize
I'm thinking the other one
damage,
that,
you deal more.
that takes either.
Lolliot here is a no good draw. Potentially no good draw. He is going to swing to the Barong, which will give Yosh Destiny draw.
We'll see as this repeat works out for them then. It might.
Perhaps. Lolliot does still have one more set card. He is going to de-draw into a second Fire King Island.
You probably could just win by deck out here, honestly. At this point.
Maybe, but you also have to remember that he can just, like, keep summoning Oracle, right?
Right. You have to do
Verge
Arvada
in.
at some point, but that's after you get rid of the slashes.
Well, yeah, no, but in theory, Harpies can't deck out, but, like, practically, they aren't going to be able to maintain their resources to avoid decking out, unless, like, you're against a deck that has 0 aggressive pressure. But Fire King has a lot of offensive pressure. Garunix is once again live here.
I think it's the first time we've seen the actual loop this duel now.
Yep, this is the first time the loop has actually started. But he is going to be able to get the Oracle off of this Channeler here.
You're 100 off from the Ray play.
Off of this, he goes into... Don't know what he's going for. See? Just Cyber Slash Harpy Lady once again.
I would find it funny though if he has lethal with the Ray line, but he's 100 short. I don't even think it would be lethal. I don't think it is.
I don't know if summoning this was correct, considering... Oh, he does actually have Fiend Dish. Okay, there is a reason to summon this. A very good reason at that. He is going to break the loop for now. However, it will probably just restart as long as... Because I'm just going to assume he still has a Fire King target left in deck.
Yeah, that's kind of
does.
sad. There's no targets in deck.
Oh, he destroys the Arvada.
You get the revive, don't you? You do that, and then
Yeah,
you
but
ignore, and then,
what does he
yeah.
revive here? There's no Garunix engrave, he just revives Barong.
You don't use your normal yet, so.
Oh, okay, I see. Yep. He's
Yeah.
just going to level instant. That's fine. Yep, that makes sense.
He could even tribute if he wanted to. Like he has alternative lines, but like this is the cleanest. Yep, it's turn 14, and the loop happened turn 13. Hype Beast.
Yeah. Yep. This is game. Everything Lolliot has is known. And that's game. 1-1. The repeat did in fact pay off.
Yeah. While that's loading, I just adjust the scores, and I don't know why it keeps going to 10. I'm just not typing well. now we just wait for their next deck. Because they won't repeat. Because they can't.
Yeah. Let's see.
Alright, 1-1. One player's down to and one team's down to repeat. We haven't seen the memes yet, unless you consider like the Fire King's a meme, or I guess the Harpy's a meme, although Harpies aren't a meme currently, at least.
I don't think either of those decks were memes.
Yeah, it depends what format you pick them in. You go back far enough, I'm pretty sure you bet like you go back to like Fire King Yubel.
Yoshi is taking. Oh, there as not Yoshi, Lolly. I do not know the difference between these players. I really need to stop that. Match is live. Let's see. Game 3 of this war. I'm saying words.
And the chat likes to hear the word, so it's fine.
Yay, words. Oh. Lolliot on a 20-card Yummy Yugi deck, so I'm going to assume this is Gaia.
Duel.
Set 1, set 2 pass. Could be Fire King, could be Gaia.
That's not usually what you want for,
That's not what you want in most decks. Yosh going to open. Do we see the Garunix? We do see the Garunix opening basically the exact same thing as last game.
I was wondering if it's like Little Light for some reason. But I don't know what back row you're playing unless they're like fusion spells. A couple of back rows you could be also on tanky, but like what traps do you set?
Runix going to revive itself. Or attempt to anyway. Does hit the field. He is going to negate it. This is perfectly understandable. I do believe this will put you in a better position for future turns, which makes perfect sense.
And then it turns out there was no future turn, so it didn't matter.
Lolliot, what did you top deck? Are you able to do something beyond pass turn?
What deck are you on? Gaia?
He is eccentric, basically confirming that this is Gaia.
Well, you think so, but it's probably Gaia, but it could be something else. It could be Pendulum. I don't expect it to be, but it could be.
Destiny Draw Pendulum. The card in just hope the card on the far right isn't Fiendish Chain and we're fine.
Kind of sure he doesn't care about. He's more concerned about the field spell. It's weird.
We're gonna pop this.
Or he's more concerned about the field spell in the back row.
That's fair.
I guess that means his hand probably doesn't contest whatever, and it doesn't. Fair enough.
He just sets another card and passes. Sheesh, this is not a good hand. Garunix just going to summon itself back up. This does threaten lethal, but it's unlikely to actually win the game through set 3.
If it was Gaia, like it's kind of awkward because you need at least like 2 cards to get started to with your skill and whatnot.
And with this means he just didn't have them because if he had another card, he could have done it. And he could have just sent the eccentric back. We see a Book of Moon going to prevent lethal here.
It's a brick and a half. Chuck it at the
opponent. Lolliot just had the Galloping Gaia hand already. He did actually have one of the pieces. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, he is going to be able to try and make plays here.
Yep.
Here we go. There's Gaia. There's the Curse of Dragonfire. Are we going to see a response? We are going to see Book of Moon onto the Curse of Dragonfire here.
We'll go to battle.
Lolliot is going to swing and destroy the Garunix. This will give Yosh access to a fire king.
Yeah, because
if he
it's a
so
guy.
chooses. Oh no,
Is
it's
it not champion though? It's only guy at night.
Oh, yeah, no, you can. I don't know how this game works.
Its name is the guy at night, but you need the guy champion name to get the
yeah, you need a fusion specifically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Top deck Fire King Island here. I believe top deck. I was not paying attention to the hand, I'm just going to assume top deck.
That's a safe assumption.
Oh, has destroyed Barong. Which means he does not have another, which means I assume he does not have another Garunix in hand, which is definitely unfortunate.
Whereas another Barong, but I wouldn't expect it. The dash delay.
Oh, doesn't matter, he has Onslaught of the Fire King. He is going to be able to threaten Garunix once again here.
TTH maybe? TTH isn't necessarily even that great here. Because, you know, card effects.
No. Book is probably your best bet here.
Though it's not out of the question that's one in the back row anyway. I want to see Wall D. Battle traps in a deck that doesn't use them. Or worry about them for that matter too.
Lolliot here has a few options. He could just let everything happen and try to top deck a monster, right? Or he could try and protect his monsters. I think he's debating what he wants to do. He is going to opt to protect his monsters here. Book of Moon going to flip down the Arvada.
I mean, you have two books, so your opponent might be in trouble.
That was the second book.
I mean, if there's a third book, I mean...
Are we going to see book number 3? We are unfortunately not going to see book number 3.
It's like if it was third book, you're in like excellent position to just like kill him next turn if you draw a monster.
Garunix going to activate from the grave, and it's going to allow the loop to commence because the set Arvada will get destroyed, summon back, I assume, a Garunix, which will potentially cause the loop to start it once again. Words.
Yep, words.
Yep, words. I forgot how to talk midway through saying that, so I just kind of stopped.
I mean, you could have kept going, so... Maybe you'll remember how to do it eventually. Keep going.
Perhaps. Barong effect. I completely forgot Barong effect live here. He's going to add the third and final Arvada expand. He did, in fact, top deck a monster here.
Yep. Although most of them
like
most of them, as long as it's like one of the two targets, like.
He does add Dark Flare
draw with Dark Flare, right? Yeah, it does. So like.
Yeah.
It's just a monster, or in like eccentric, and you're fine.
He is going to be pushing for lethal here.
I forget it just blows up the field spell.
Yeah, it's funny. Now it all comes down to whether or not Yosh has a hand trap that will be able to stop this push.
What hand trap?
What hand trap? Oh right, yep.
Yeah, so the hand traps don't matter.
Yep, that. I know how this game
works. I didn't blow up my
game.
field spell, only blew up yours.
In my defense, I stopped playing before Gaia was released, so
just think it's ancient gear when you're there.
It's just anti-magic arrows plus.
It's Reactor Dragon. There we go.
It's Reactor Dragon. And Lolliot does take that game. He is going to come back from previous defeat.
I will figure out how this works eventually. With the.
I will eventually figure out how this game works. I am a Harpy one trick.
I didn't even check. I'm almost positive the names are right, but I didn't actually check. Let's see who the next player will be. so they're answering Gaia. Not unexpected, I guess. I guess Fire Kings would be more unexpected for a war, I guess. As far as like which deck you expect to see. Haven't seen any memes yet, unless you, like I said, consider the Fire King still a meme. Or the Gaia, I guess, now. Looks like we have someone in, let's see who that will be. Okay. Guess they're just picking which deck. Figure out which one's shinier. Take out the mat, and it's like, who is that? Which one is that? Name is a match, I'm not sure who that is. I think that's Super Piece, I don't know.
Oh, wait, yes, one is in the room. Who is in the room?
It's not on their roster list, I guess, I'm guessing that's Piece, I don't know.
I mean, I know who that is. It's just like, you weren't on the roster. What are you doing in the room?
Troopers on the...
I'm going to assume it's just someone playing on the account. They just didn't.
Fair enough.
Okay, it's Trooper.
It might have been, but whatever.
I'm just going to assume they forgot to change the name. We're chilling.
It happens.
It happened.
Oh, I was going with a guess that it was like a it was like they forgot to change which. It was the same person forgot which name they're using.
Trooper on top is going to go first with, I'm assuming Harvey. It could be Tree mid, but I'm just going to assume this is Harvey's. He is spending quite a while to think here. That's not ideal when you're Harvey. Typically, you just summon monster.
That would suggest try mid.
Ooh, set to pass.
Well, the back row better do something.
Hard activates Galloping Gaia from hand.
Who needs the skill?
Who needs a skill? Just open the field spell. He is going to reveal Curse
It's actually bad.
Just for the Gaia the Magic here.
I guess if it is Harvey, like I guess like you expect maybe a book, maybe TTH. They're on like one egotist.
Curse of
Two
Dragon
TTH.
will
They're on zero egotist.
Be Harvey's underground. This Curse of Dragon Fire is not being flipped down. I believe. Oh no, it is. He just waited for it to resolve. That's fine. Molly just that one swing. Understandable play.
No, I kind of want to see the list on the Harvey list on zero egotist now, though.
Oh, he is going to now play a Harpy monster. He is going to get to play Channeler here. Does Loliet have a response to this summon?
I'm not sure who delay is on. I'm guessing they're oh, it is also okay.
He does. He is going to book Channeler before it can activate its effect. No Swallow's Nest to respond to this. This is looking like it for Trooper M's turn and potentially it for this game. Want to flip back up Curse of Dragonfire. Does Trooper M have a response to this?
Not yet, apparently.
Oh, attempting to fuse. does have the Fiendish Chain. That is going to negate the Curse of Dragonfire.
Oh, let's see, both. Like, if I'm not mistaken, that means that both players are both teams are running Fiendish in their hobby lists.
Hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, like we
Galloping
saw
Gaia.
Lolliet earlier on Fiendish too.
Ooh, Galloping Guy revealing a second Curse of Dragonfire. He is potentially going to be able to tribute summon that over the currently locked Curse of Dragonfire.
I actually don't remember if that's once per turn or not. Let's see.
Oh, soft once per turn. Not hard.
Nice. I don't even think
It's
I
just
ever
going to
checked.
search
Not even,
for a... Yep, we're going to do exactly that. Is Trooper able to stop Curse of Dragonfire for the third time?
I was thinking about it. Well, someone's thinking, I don't know who. Alright, second attempt.
Fusion Summon is going to actually resolve this time. Followed by set 1 from Trooper. Well, from Maldiet. He just gets to go to battle phase. Gaia the Magical... I don't even know this card's name. Gaia the Magical Knight of Dragons. Why are these names so stupid?
It also gets more confusing when you have to, because they also have like similar names. Like they're both Magical Knight, the main deck one, and the Fusion Monster.
And half the time they just become a different card's name. They're like Harpy Lady, Gaia, except Knights and Dragons.
Yes, I write down like Magical Knight Fusion when I'm looking at games or whatever to refer to which one, as opposed to just Magical Knight, which is the main deck one.
I just say Fusion Gaia or just Gaia. Everyone knows what it is anyways.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and set
What's
Phoenix
the
to
third
just pass
set of
turn.
Phoenix Chain, incidentally? What's that middle one we haven't seen yet?
Gaia is just going to pop it. Is this going to be it? We know he has a Soldier Gaia was the name? Oh, he's
It's
revealing
realistically
the third
it,
Dragonfire.
because he can just make another one, and that back row isn't anything.
Mhm.
You have to use
He
it in main
does
phase.
just... He's sorry, that's one Soldier Guy is the one that tributes over. Magical Knight is the starter.
The main deck, and there's also a Fusion, which is just the one on board.
Yeah. No response for Trooper. That is going to be it. Lolliet is going to win on the counter, I think. Yes, on the counter. Are we going to see the
they're
second
still the
repeat?
first deck, they're 3-1 right now.
Yep, 3-1. We're going to see the second repeat from the Legends.
They haven't
might.
announced it yet, but we'll see what you meant. Like,
They haven't announced it, but
yeah, we'll see.
we might see it.
I was wondering what these progress, like on the new overlay, with the new interface for the OBS, like the there's a little loading bar, and that actually means the how close they are to winning. It didn't occur to me at first. He's trying. They did not say repeat from what I was saying. Okay, I don't see a repeat anywhere. No.
Nope. We can assume he just went to the next deck.
And if not, there's a problem.
And if not, Judge.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't click spectate. I should do that.
I also forgot to remove a deck. No worries.
Oh, is this a mirror match?
Looks like it.
Fun.
Also, it says you're not watching. Okay, there you are.
Yeah.
No, it's
I was
not
on-
a mirror.
I have the stream open, so I just checked there real quick.
Okay.
Oh, it's not a mirror match. It's actually going to be Luna Light. Interesting.
good start.
He is going to open the standard Martin Emerald Bird. Always a very strong open for the light here. It's going to generate stupid amounts of card advantage here. As well as just make, effectively, just a floodgate, not a floodgate, just a big mini towers. Worst towers. Words.
I forget what the original stat line is, because it's always raised.
Yeah,
we're about to find out. I was just wondering ahead, can SamD actually just trade with that? Just never really thought about it.
I'm pretty sure it's basically free tech.
Yeah, it's a little high. You need to boost it somehow. Maybe boost the SamD to trade with that. That way.
He is going to use the Emerald Bird effect to summon back the Yellow Martin from grave. Gateway to Chaos.
Re-swing over the Martin, I guess.
Yeah, I'm questioning that play somewhat.
I'm not sure what it does for you, actually, now thinking about it, yeah.
Because, yeah, it gets it back in grave, which is neat, I guess, because it is just a free +1, but, like, this does Galloping Gaia from hand for third game in a row, but, yeah, it does just let the Charging Gaia get the 5-point attack.
I'm not convinced this guy has a skill at this point, because he keeps hard drawing the field spell.
He's actually running Destiny Draw.
Yeah.
As
far as I know, this is skillless, because we haven't seen it yet.
But it does seem like Trooper might actually have the Yellow Martin trying to bait out the fusion summon so he can just go off with it. We will see, though. Regardless, Lolliot is going to make a fusion monster here.
Like, isn't that very good of a bait, though? Whatever.
I don't know.
I guess you're hoping, I guess, to send, like, the... Well, like, you're not... If anything, it kind of says you already have it.
Yeah. Yeah, doing this is really trying to say, hey, swing, please. I
but,
have,
like, your deck is, Well, yeah, the thing is, like, you don't get the search, so... You're always saying, oh, give it to me. It's like...
I see the hey, make a monster swing, please. Make yourself big as Oh, he is going to come in. I believe that was a top decked White Rabbit.
Yeah.
Going to go for the bird. Bird effect will be able to trigger off of this. I think White Rabbit doesn't negate, right? Nope.
It negates the effects, right?
No, White Rabbit does not.
It's not. Which one am I thinking of? I'm not thinking of the other one.
Just Yellow Martin negates itself, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of the Emerald Bird specifically.
Does Emerald Bird negate?
Yes.
Fun. I know how this game works.
Also, I don't think the Martin negates. What's going to negate? It bounces, so it's not negating itself. Well, better have it.
He is going to opt to Book of Moon the White Rabbit. This will prevent White Rabbit from bouncing a Galloping Gaia back to hand.
And the back row. The other back row, I mean. Yeah, this play wasn't necessarily great with the revive unless you already had another one. And you apparently it looks like you may not have it.
Nope, just going to pass Developing Gaia here going to activate once again, revealing Curse of Dragonfire.
It's a nice 5,200 guy on the board.
It's a very big Gaia. Gaia the Magical Knight is going to be able to be normal summoned without any tributes because of its effect. Curse of Dragonfire going to come back from the grave, attempting to fusion summon once again.
See which one he goes for. Oh, it goes for a second copy. I was thinking maybe the other one, but okay. He wants the second one of these.
Nah, this is fine, right? Because like this, he only deals 19, doesn't threaten D-draw, and then he can just swing.
Oh,
otherwise he wouldn't be able to swing with the other one. Because
that's good. That's a fair point, though.
That is a very big Gaia.
It's like, oh, what do you D-draw if you're already dead?
Oh, we do see something. I believe that was a damage step play. Not sure what it was, but
it would have had to have been on Gaia's end. Because Gil spell. Oh yeah, it's fair.
Soldier,
there's a soldier in hand, right? There's the Crimson Box.
Again, chat. I don't know how this game works.
Or well, chalice. But I think we know about soldier.
No, actually, we haven't seen soldier.
Oh, was in the other game. Fair enough.
He's added Gaia twice.
Okay. I'm getting my games mixed up then. Fair enough.
That's. He's going to reduce the 7, the big Gaia right down to 0.
Right.
Moonlight Fusion is going to come out here.
I mean, it's no better time, I guess, to try.
Nope. He is going to fuse 2 into Cat Dancer.
And I believe you would get the boost. If you want to use it, like, why not?
Yep. Emerald Bird and Yellow Martin both going to trigger here. He is going to be able to give himself the third and final Luna-like fusion, as well as summon back a monster. Opts to summon back the banished Yellow Martin. Perfectly understandable.
Oh, let's see what these players do. I'm kind of thinking go either way, but we'll see. We're thinking about it. That's gonna go with the tribute.
Yep. He's going to go for the multi-attack, which makes sense.
He does not go for the, well, you don't need it actually because of the multi-attack.
You don't need it at this point.
But there is a soldier, which would prevent either way.
And now since it is the battle phase and he still controls a fusion monster, he is going to be able to, in theory, just reduce this down with Soldier Gaia. I forget what this card does. Puts it in defense mode. Okay, let's see if Lolliot can close the game out here. Galloping Gaia, revealing Curse of Dragonfire.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. I think there are multiple ways to do this. It depends what you're on, though.
Does add Gaia the Fierce Knight, but is not going to summon
Okay,
it.
you're on Chalice.
Forbidden Chalice, however.
I mean, you don't even need to care about damage step stuff because they can't activate anything.
I forgot Trooper was down 1900 life points. I thought he needed something else, but he doesn't. That's just game.
I almost wonder if the other team, if Lala is not on the piercing stuff because I think he got a lethal line earlier, way back when he boosted.
Mm. I don't
Could you
think
use
you could
pierce over defense, don't you? I don't know.
You would, but I don't think it's enough, right? Because White Rabbit's 800. I don't think you can hit for 21.
52 minus 800. I'm pretty sure it's over 4K.
Mm.
If you're 52, is both of them right, or just the Anyway, we're 4-1.
I completely forget. I completely forget.
It's like all. I think it's all Gaia's. Oh, the Gaia, the Dragon Champions.
Perhaps. I don't play this game. Who knows?
Fair enough. So if I'm not mistaken, that is a 0-2. Yep. So yeah, Lolliet's on a streak.
Lolliet currently sitting on a very nice 4-1. Putting the Legends back on the counter pick once again.
I mean, granted, with what I'm saying, I'm assuming he's on it, and I'm assuming that's just like the that it works the way I think it does. Oh, we're setting in peace, so let's see. I will put them in now. Also an ad going. Oh, whatever. Looks like they are sending in harpies. Well, or Trimans again. And I can back a deck.
I am going to assume this is once again just dream it. I need to click spectate. I was watching from the stream. I was not even aware of that. Okay.
Oh yeah, they were fast. They were ready.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a skill. This is what, game 6 now?
I believe this is.
Well, it's 4-1, so it's game 6 of it. But
Oh, yeah,
I
no,
guess
sorry,
it's,
yeah,
how many times he was on Gaia is also a fair point, because he's on Harpy's turtle, wasn't it?
I think this is the 4th Gaia game because it was
Yeah, I think you're
one
right.
loss. Yeah.
Might be the 5th Gaia, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm fully caught up now. Okay. Galloping Gaia going to wait. Yeah, I am fully caught up. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I still thinking.
He is going to reveal a level 5 dragon. Waiting to see what it is. Oh, I lied. I completely read what he's revealing, right? He's going to add a level 5.
I mean, it's not like they have a hand trap that specifically interacts with that.
Oh. No Ash Blossom. I think Ash Blossom. I
Oh, a hand
forget how
trap,
this
I
game
mean,
works.
one that would hit the one effect and not the other or whatever. Or it cares about which one it is. It's kind of nice that they do have that field spell pop, because I feel like the Harvey matchup might be considerably worse if the can't get rid of the field spell if they just blow up yours.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you could always use your effect to pop theirs, but it's a little awkward to have to do that.
Lolliet with a very, very strong turn 1. I have the Magical Knight, and just set 2. Honestly, pretty solid overall.
Yep. Kinda what you want to see. Ideally draw a monster next turn, if you have the field spell still up.
Ooh, he is going to just immediately summon Channeler. Are we going to see a response from Lolliet? He is going to try and pop it with his Gaia.
I think it's reasonable.
Yep, definitely. There is a delay. We do not know what player it is on. Does Peace Happy Swallow's Nest? He does not.
He
He
has
has
the
Book of
book,
Moon, which will also work.
And he books the right one, or tries to. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Because both prevent from losing stats. Do what you want.
Channeler is going to try to activate its effect. Are we going to see a Chalice from Lolliet? We did see that in the previous game, I believe. Yes, we did, right at the end. Channeler will resolve, gets to summon the Perfumer. Perfumer going to add a card, and then he's just going to do Harpy things. Everyone knows how this goes.
Or go right into a TTH. No, maybe not. No, yeah, yes,
Oh,
yes, there's
actually,
a TTH.
yes! You just willed it into existence. Oh boy.
Woo!
We do see a delay here. No activation. He is going to activate the Feather Rest here, just get himself, you know, upstart Goblin real quick. Why not? Well, technically not, but same thing.
It just took a moment for the player to realize his card changed when I said that. That was a delay.
Turn. That is not what you like to see.
And it's really bad if you drew a monster.
If PS has a level 5 dragon, this could be it. Or not PS, if Loliot has a level 5 dragon. He does not. He is going to set a card.
I think the guy also would have been able to search out the other dragon. Like the 24 one. Who I think is actually also has like a similar name to the other level 5. He's also like Dragonfire, where he's like in space between them.
Yeah, if you have Dark Flare gets a search on it, but he just needed any level 5 and he has another monster out.
Yeah.
I don't know, any monster was game. Right, any monster was game.
Right, so you always add the flare if you wanted to.
Yeah, I completely didn't even realize Dark Flare.
I mean, there are multiple ways to do it, but that's just one of them.
He does have the Swallow's Nest here, which will be able to make the fusion monster fizzle, but he does also have the Book of Moon to stop the second channeler from even trying to activate its effect.
Nice.
And to top it all off, he has the Chalice.
I like that.
This is looking like it is most likely just aim for Loliot.
Could have waited to draw the monster to confirm it was a game, but like, fair enough.
No, it's fine, because like this he gets the attack boost, and then he can just pop on normal.
Yeah, but, okay, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I don't think it changes your line though. No, because you get stat boost if you do that, that's right.
No, it does change your
It's
line.
because you get the extra
Chalice.
boost if you Chalice a turn. Yeah, that's right, okay.
Yep, and then you can still threaten lethal regardless of pop deck immediately afterwards.
Right. Or you have lethal if you draw the monster anyway. This is better if you don't.
Normal summon Oracle. Are we going to see Loliot immediately pop this out of fear of potential cards in hand, or is he going to let everything here go through?
I mean, I try to pop it personally. Because like, I know you have two cards in hand. One of them has to answer it, and the other one has to extend.
He is going to activate
I thought it was a
Egotist.
little late, but...
He is going to chain to the Elegant Egotist. Does have the Book of Moon to
I mean, this is still like fine, but I would have liked I like the other one better. Where it's like, oh, your thing's dead unless you like book and then haste it. Actually, this kind of works out. No, maybe it's the same. It actually has the same result.
Yep.
It's the exact same outcome, even though I like the other line better.
With this play, well, Peace might still be in this.
Yeah, he might be.
Depending on
what that back
what
card is.
Loliot's set card is.
And then there's the draw for turn.
Does get to destroy the Gaia. Oracle going to add back Feather Rest in end phase, meaning if Loliot cannot close this out now, Peace might be able to re-establish a board.
Alright, there's the Gaia. He drew a monster.
He did finally draw a monster after 4 turns of just failing to do so.
And he had a monster to start with, it was fine.
He had a monster to start with, but he could never close out the game. Does reveal Curse of Dragonfire. Gaia the Magical Knight going to come on out here.
Another Gaia. Or Magical Knight Fusion.
Yep.
That's kind of suggesting the other set is a Chalice and a Resolution.
He is still in the main phase.
Or either that or you're like level 4. It could be either, but no, he has it's suggesting Chalice rather than level 4.
It's Chalice. There's
Yeah.
Either it's Chalice or it's BM.
Chalice.
It is Chalice. This is going to be game.
Alright, because it's no level
Loliet-
4, so you know what's in its hand, so yeah, it's not engraved.
Yeah. Loliet is going to win the game. Up 5-1. 5-1.
No, 50 to 1, it's 5 to 1. He has it 150. Not yet, anyway. Alright, now let's see if they use their second repeat. No, I'm not mistaken, it would be a second repeat. It would be if they use it. Yeah, I wrote it down wrong. But now I have it right. And they will be using their second repeat here.
Are going to. Okay. Their second and final repeat. Waiting for the ref to confirm it. We are good to go.
Well, when they're ready to go to go.
When they're when they are good to go.
Yeah.
Gaia just shredding through everything right now. Is it glitched on your end?
It's a little slow on my end. Why?
There we
Hey,
go.
did you
Okay.
glitch out?
I have the Twitch open. My Twitch might be behind because I clicked it and it took a while for it to load on your
Oh,
end.
my game. I'm not even in the game yet. It's loading a little slow.
You know, because I don't know. Words.
It's fine. We're not dropping frames, so it's not the stream.
Nah, I might have just had the stream like delayed on my end for whatever reason,
Oh,
but it's fine.
oh, okay. That's what we were saying. His connection failed, maybe. Let's see if anything happened there.
Judge?
That might be us. It might be like me actually trying to get in the game. We'll see if anything happened.
Yeah, it happened to me as well.
Like they're still going apparently, so maybe it was fine.
This is likely a glitch.
And we'll have to find out. Also, names are I have them wrong, so I'll swap that.
Oh, I think it let me back in. Maybe.
It did,
Can't
so
tell.
I will swap names though.
Okay.
So I didn't realize I had them wrong.
Unless this is a different game, I have no clue.
It should be the same game. It was just weird microwave, you know.
Yep, microwave. Loliet on top is going to get to open
Also,
up
that means the
Arcade.
decks are now. No wait, huh? Take this.
He
the
is
top
using
player, but why is the deck
eccentric to
wrong then?
pop. Ooh. Eccentric using its effect to pop the field spell. This means Loliet does not have access to. Oh? Unless.
It's just being weird. They're fine.
If he does that, then that implies that, yeah, okay, he doesn't have, he does not have access to the Curse of Dragonfire, otherwise there was no reason to do that. He is just going to try and set up set 1, and with that, he is passing turn. Can Peace OTK through this board? Everything is known except one set card. Normal summoning Perfumer.
Oh no, I think. Oh no, I see the problem. They're both down a deck. I'm just getting myself confused. That was the issue.
Perfumer's effect is going to resolve. Add the Elegant Egotist. Does get to activate it.
And he might finally lose to a brick. Not the first time he bricked, but might lose to the brick. I mean, oh, this is TTH. One time. Come. Is it here again? No.
Ooh, second Elegant Egotist.
I wish I had that TTH. I guess maybe that's what she's thinking. I don't know. Alright. Now maybe? We'll see.
Is going to fuse for the Cyber / Harpy Lady.
Fairy could keep waiting until battle phase.
And in addition to this, also gets to summon the Oracle.
Oh, the back row's not being threatened. Keep waiting. This looks good.
What he's doing, he
There's
is
a
just going to
tractor.
swing.
Good setup. Oh, it's that works now. Pokemon.
You see Book. Book will be stopping lethal here.
All you need.
Lolliot going to survive a turn is going to be able to try and make his plays. It's a question of whether or not he has the back row to stop them. Drowning Copium.
I've been wanting to see a drowning, but they haven't been playing it yet.
I'd love to see a drowning. Drowning is a funny card.
It's like that in Wall D. I'm looking concerned I see you in the chat. Think about what to add. What dragon do you want?
I mean, he could choose between Curse of Dragonfire, Curse of Dragonfire, Curse of Dragonfire. Opts for Curse of Dragonfire.
And the Dragon Player.
Not because he already has Dark Flare Reader revealed it. Unless he's running 2.
I don't even remember him revealing the Dragon Player.
That was the that was what he revealed first to add the what's it called? Magical Knight.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he even revealed. I missed that when we passed turn. No, I don't think he did. Whatever. No, he did. Fair enough. It doesn't show you what we revealed because it's not public knowledge anymore, I guess.
Is
it Book or Fiendish? Which one is it, Peace? It shouldn't be TTH, otherwise something's up. I'm calling a judge this TTH.
if it's TTH, that's
might have a problem.
That would be fun. Very simply, just going to swing and destroy the Cyber Slash Harpy Lady. Perfectly reasonable play here. Does have the top decked back row set.
Let's see what you got. I think drew one. Or was the ad back? It was the ad back.
It was the ad back, yes. Does Peace have a Harpy to keep this going? Or not to keep it going, to trigger it.
Oh, there's TTH.
Ooh, Set Treacherous going to prevent him from making the second Cyber Slash. And considering that he's already used both Egotists, I do not believe it is possible for him to summon a Cyber Slash unless the set card is, Hysteric Party. It is! I'm willing shit into existence.
Proceeds to... wait. Hang on. No, you're fine, because you can blow up your...
He's about to just summon a bunch of monsters. I believe this is game. How much defense does Curse of Dragonfire have? Oh, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. You can just make Malevolence and... even... oh, he's on 800 life points. It actually just doesn't even matter. That is just going to be game.
Yeah, I was thinking. I think that's the one way it could go wrong. Even that, I don't think. I think he still got it.
Yep, is just going to go for Malevolence in here, which is game. Should be game.
I'm pretty sure it's not a hand trap hand, unless we were saying it was like the chaos.
Unless like
target player.
Loliot's win condition here is peace accidentally goes to end phase.
I've done that, and it's so sad. When you just misclick it, instead of going battle, you go to end.
He is going to bounce. He is just going to bounce both monsters. Loliot currently praying for the DC or the misclick.
We're just looking for the misclick, I guess, and it's not coming.
He mulliganed back the Dark Flare.
Yeah.
He swapped it out for a the Battle Fader. Okay. He is going to end Loliot's streak at a very impressive 5-2.
Yep.
Let's see if the Legends can counter streak, or if Duel Links Latam is going to be able to flat back. Latam.
I'm not used to adjusting these scores yet.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it do you say Latam or Latam? I know it's Latin America, but that's something. Words.
Now you're kidding. No, you got me. I don't know now. Let's see who they send in now. They got their entire lineup to choose from outside their starter. Yeah, it was a good start.
Very strong start.
Opening with a streak is always nice.
They do opt to send in Uchiez. Game is live.
Oh, is it? I didn't notice. Oh, you know, it's my screen's behind, so I didn't even notice myself. I didn't have the room open. Or I didn't have the room pulled up.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
For some reason, my Twitch is always behind, and that includes if I'm the one streaming.
Uchiez coming in here with a 20-card Yami Yugi. Is this once again Gaia? Are we going right back in with it? He is not. I believe this is just going to be Lunalight. Oh, you're... Am I ahead?
You're... I don't think you're that far ahead, because we see his Lunalight, so...
Okay, we see it, we're fine.
Bad pass.
That is not an ideal opening, but
it's
it
not
is
necessarily Dissonance, though, because, like, you usually run on hand trust, but you don't have them, then it's probably Dissonance. If the opponent assumes you don't have them.
It is most likely safe to assume Uchiez has at least one hand trap. Probably multiple. I'm out here spoiling stuff. Let's go!
You're spoiling like half a second before it like comes up.
I'm spoiling half a second of content.
Which might turn into a second because like my download or whatever, or I guess my upload it would be. Which is kind of weird because my download's better than the upload. So you think the stream would be delayed for everyone, not just me. That's Dweller.
He's opting for Dweller's Fang. Alright. I can respect it.
I mean, there are grave artifacts you do want to prevent, because you only went tanky so far.
This is going to let him shut off a lot of graveyard effect, yes. Going to immediately activate
You could
Dweller.
wait there, honestly, because like they have to play at least one card before they pitch anything.
Yeah, there's
like,
nothing that
like,
can,
it doesn't make a difference, but you could have activated right here.
Yeah. Here would have been a good time because it's very hot. Yeah. Ooh, Book of the Moon. Out his own.
Oh, because you make them now fuse from hand.
Trying to potentially cause this to fizzle. It is unlikely. We know he has one material. Of course, but how many more does he have? He does still have 3 material, but this is going to be putting him behind. He is going to be going -3 off of this play. And he gets the 0 graveyard effects off of this. But he now does get the Saber Dancer, which is very, very difficult for parties to deal with.
I assume they run it out, so they take at least one out in the extra.
Can we see the one-of smashing ground?
Smashing ground.
Ooh,
I
hysteric.
feel like I've seen that from the Lunar Light for some reason. I don't know why. When I've been playing ladder, I just see like the Lunar Light's the one smashing.
Peace is going to activate Hysteric Party, which will let him summon back 2 monsters. Did not discard a monster, which means that he likely does not have another monster in hand.
I mean, the point of the Book of Moon was to interfere with how he fuses with Lunar Light fusion, if you're wondering. It's so he can't use his deck.
Yeah, no, the Book of Moon there makes a lot of sense, right? Book of Moon isn't great against Lunar Light. Like,
Also, apparently he does have he's on the Thunder Spark out.
Is going to go for the Thunder Spark, which is actually going to be able to out this, which will also let him.
It's also 24 versus Burton Lethal.
Even if this is a hand trap. Oh, and the Feather Rest going to recycle some cards, give him a draw. Even if this is a hand trap, there's not much Lunalight can do with only 1 card.
Yeah, even if they draw a fusion, like you can't use that because you only, I believe it only gives you 1 material, isn't it, from deck? Or
Yeah.
if you use both.
Like your only top deck here is it is a hand trap. Your only top deck here is like White Rabbit, and even that I don't think does enough. And even then, Peace discarded. He's ended up discarding Fiendish Chain, which means he must be very confident in that set card because his hand I'm pretty sure was just Feather Rest and Fiendish. He could have discarded Feather Rest if he was not confident in the set.
Another book would be pretty sweet, actually. Although I think there's a Wolf in through if it ends up being a Lunar Light. There's a Crimson Fox, I mean, not Wolf. I think Wolf's another card we don't have. I guess like the best set is what, the one that searches the spell? Yeah, that one, and then it's still not that great here. Oh, wait, what? You don't have it? Huh?
Oh.
Am I missing something?
Set Martin Pass.
Oh, it's card effect out of battle, my bad.
Peace is also going to your set and card and pass.
You couldn't use that.
Lucius has a set card. I do not believe that card will be enough to get him out of this predicament.
Right, I forgot. Like I checked, it's card effect. That's why I couldn't do it.
Does not trigger when you start a battle.
Yeah, I was looking over the card. They can't see that I'm doing that on the because the overlays in front of it.
He's just going to attack directly and finish this game off.
It was not drowning, unfortunately. Although we still want to see that drowning.
We do want to see the drowning. Peace is going to win on the counter. Is Duel Links Latam... I'm just going to say DLL from now on.
Okay.
Is DLL going to use their first repeat? They are.
Yep.
Yes, that is the time. I completely forgot what time it is. They will be using their repeat here.
And I will mark that off, yeah. Keep messing it with the decks. Okay, it's a little weird because I think the top player doesn't sync up with the decks there. Well, the overlay with whatever. I can just keep an eye on that. Yeah, probably 9-9. 6-hour war. How things go, you know. I won a second one.
A 6-hour match.
That was a great match. Let's be real, I call that.
Oh, the stall matches.
This doesn't happen out there.
Lucius is going first here. Potentially advantageous. Let's see what he's going for here. LGBB.
I love that. I love those mirrors, but that 6-hour war was decided on a die roll. but it wasn't. I don't believe it was like the. I forget what deck it was, but it was probably last gamble stall, like the last one in the back. No, I don't think it was. It might have been. Yeah, it might have been Buster, but it was against Hero with Jimmy.
I blame Jimmy.
I do too. Although it wasn't his fault, but I blame him anyway.
When in doubt.
Should be a good spot for outing the board though. With the Harvey with these opening. So you know he's on Thunderspark.
Assuming
Correct, both teams were actually 06. That was not a typo. We're trying to find out who's the 07 and who's the 16 today.
Perfumer here.
He used Gaia and Harpy.
He won one with Harpy, and then he streaked 4 games with Gaia.
Oh, we're going for the Splash here. I mean, draws are fine. Draws are nice.
Means he must be pretty confident in his Saber Dancer out, or he must have something for it.
Or he's thinking he doesn't need to deal with that now, maybe? I don't know. He just wants more resources. Because part of the thing was that would cost a lot of resources to out the board that way.
It would.
And I think the opponent actually gets a surge to do it that way. Because of the Martin on field.
He's going to go Tinky into White Rabbit, just going to generate bad card advantage off of this play. Fiendish Chain, however, going to negate the White Rabbit summoning back a monster here.
Is there a... There is no... No, we can't negate that. There's no Fox Engrave.
Yeah. Uchiez does still have the Yellow Martin Engrave. This will allow him to just loop the White Rabbit. Such a disgusting, like, interaction, though. It really is.
Oh, you mean how, like, it just bounces so you didn't even lose the card?
Yeah, you just Yellow Martin, you just, yeah, right, because you can just go White Rabbit, summon back Emerald Bird, Martin bounce the White Rabbit, you can make an Xyz, and then you can just virtually go infinite that way. Of course, you're limited by the number of Xyz you have, but it's just such a disgusting action.
Yeah. Like you can get your stuff back. It's just the point you're making other than your extra deck.
Yeah, you just go +2.
But even when the Martin's banished, you can get. I believe you can fetch off the Emerald. That can be a little awkward sometimes. Oh, we see a Wallaby now. We're seeing
I hope so.
On the
You're going to
Harpy.
see Book on himself.
And then slash on what? No, yeah. I guess you want to do that, so you do that, but...
Yep, no, this is fine. Martin will get banished because it did summon itself back with its own effect.
Right.
Fine, it's just free removal. Harpy Channeler coming out here. He is going to discard another Harpy Channeler. I believe one of these was top decked.
Still an awkward game state, even like if you're going Spark though. Because ideally you want another follow-up after that.
He is going to go for Oracle here, activating the second Egotist, or no, first Egotist from hand. Seems like he's going to be making Spark here, unless he has another card that can deal with this.
I'm kind of wondering where his other set is if he's doing that. So I don't know if you can swing then if you hop here.
I don't think you can give them Destiny Draw, because if you give them Destiny Draw, they just half game.
Right.
Oh, right.
If your backer wasn't good enough.
I mean, even if it is, right? Because they just activate Lunar Light Fusion.
Right.
You go
And
to
yeah, he
0,
won't
you're
swing,
dead.
Yeah.
Yep,
Unless
he
you
is
think
just
you
going
can
to
win,
master.
like, not even, like, if assuming no hand traps, because I don't think you can just get Dan through a hand trap, I think you have to not swing. Rat comes back out.
Why summon an attack? That is a very good question.
Yeah, it's a fair question, because it's not clear if he could
The the biggest reason I can think of is what rank 4 is bigger than 2400 that is actively played. Right?
Malevolent, I guess, free trade, I don't know.
Malevolent is on it, and you force the banish, right? So it just forces him to, like, he can't swing over it, right?
He does have the Malevolent line either way, but yeah.
Yeah, because he knows he has White Rabbit, right? And if he has the fusion, he's dead anyways, because of how much card advantage that generates, it doesn't matter. But
Though it might matter though, because defense for attack now. They also have the what's the other one? The photon one. It does what you want anyway. Granted, that's making them do that, and then either that or the fusion. Probably both.
I do believe this is most likely just game for Uchi, as I don't think Peace has a way to break through this. Uchiaz just has way too many cards for him to deal with right now.
Well, we'll see what he does.
He is thinking. Spending quite a while thinking, too.
It's like, there's no delay. I wonder if there's the drowning. And the,
Can we see a drowning, please? That would be great.
But if that's what that is, remove the monster first, please, so we can see it. It's malevolent, okay.
Yep.
No. We're not gonna see if it's a drawing or not.
He is just swinging. He does not have the Lunar Light Fusion in hand.
Or doesn't want to use it.
Book of Moon is going to flip down one of these two. He is going to flip down the Malevolent Sin. What is Malevolent Sin's defense?
At 1200.
1200, pretty low. Any Harpy monster can actually swing over that. He's immediately going for the Feather Rest here.
Do you really care about giving it back to them if you want to do the slash line, if you have it? You really depend on what you draw, but I mean...
Oh.
As long as he has line available, though.
To make a push, is just going to swing with his Thunderspark Dragon. Pass turn. Is Uchiaz finally going to see a second fusion spell? He is not. That Tanky was off the top of the deck. It's possible that he will be able to go Emerald Bird, Yellow Martin here, but opts to add White Rabbit.
Which one's at 2? Which one's at 3? I forget.
Crimson Fox is at 2, I believe.
And
I think I think something else is at 2.
Is that at 3? Are they both the Martin and Emerald? I forget.
I think they have something at 3, so they can't.
They do because it's tanky.
Oh, you're right. Tanky's at 3.
Well, they make you play it because of tanky, you know.
No.
They hit it and the tanky was being released in the next box.
Yeah, he is going to do White Rabbit into Emerald Bird, discarding Martin. No, did you discard Martin? No, he sent White Rabbit. He is going to be able to make another rank 4 here, free of cost. Effectively free of cost. This is just a free monster. He is going to not do so and instead just pass turn. He is no longer, assuming this Yellow Martin leaves the field, he will not be able to loop it anymore since he will have both banished. He will need to find a way to get it back from the banished.
I'm feeling like it's the Martin and the Emerald that are both at 3 for some reason. It might be just
Something's at 3.
Yeah. I feel like it's both.
Something is.
But it might be just one of them.
However, the fact that he didn't add a Yellow Martin kind of implies he only plays 2. I don't know if that's how that works.
I think they kind of have to be. I forget what it was. It's bugging me and I can't go check because I'm watching the game.
I'm loading it. I'm loading it.
Okay. It's banished too.
I'm just separate browser tab trying to find this.
Okay.
This. Right. Yellow Martin and Emerald Bird are at 3.
Yeah, they're both at 3. So it's like, yeah, we can account for all of them because 2 of them are banished and then there's one on the board.
Yep, and Emerald Bird's there. That makes a lot of sense. I know how this game works.
So I'm pretty sure like the lines we know they're not possible because you can count for all of them.
Uchiha's here just trying to thin out his deck as much as he can. Finally gets to activate the Lunalight in here.
This Fox wouldn't be once per turn, would it be? It is not. Okay.
He does still also have the Saber Dancer in
Oh,
grave,
both Foxes are in the
means
grave. What am I talking about? Okay.
he will be able to get a Saber Dancer all the way up to like 7,000 attack or something crazy. Which means Peace needs to be able to clear both of his own monsters or somehow stop this Saber Dancer from attacking. It's at base 5,000. It's about to go up to 2,800 if he does choose to activate it.
A big number.
Very, very big.
You're not gonna boost. I mean, I guess the same thing stopped you either way, so... If you hit your own monster,
he's going to book his own monster here. And that's the thing, if he did it, he could have just swung into the Harpy, and then that would have...
No, because you booked the Harpy then. You're thinking of the other fusion. You made this one.
Am I thinking of something else?
You're thinking of the 2 material fusion that gets to attack everything.
Oh, right, if you book, you can't
if you book, well, no, if you make the other one use its effect attack and then boost, then you got your player thinking of. Although he has, apparently he was able to survive that too, because of the nest. Still not a bad line to go on the Saber, because you have to make them out again. Although you are on the deck out, so you have to be the beat down here.
I don't think Peace actually has a way to deal with this Saber Dancer.
Which I'm kind of pointing out, because a win condition here is just stalling out and waiting for deck out.
His win condition here is to just establish a bunch of walls for 4 turns.
Which is actually like, it's actually like your thing to do, so it's like fine, you can do it. Because your opponent's losing a lot of fuel.
I don't know if he has any level 4s left, because we've seen everything hit the grave. I don't know if they run any. Is Purple Butterfly? No, Purple Butterfly is only level 3.
Can't balance it because their other one's banished.
He no longer has any level 4s, which means he is not able to make a rank 4 here.
You really like that the Photon to switch a monster to attack. Oh, that's right, he can boost. Forgot he has a boost effect. That's nice.
He is actually going to be able to set up by 1,000, which means he is going to be able to attack and potentially clear both monsters here. Another Fiendish Chain onto the Yellow Martin, but it is going to get negated with Crimson Fox. Bye, Crimson Fox.
And AC activation.
Yep. Now this is potentially Peace's very last turn. Potentially.
So close yet so far. Rip.
Yep. Oh, connection failed. I'm
This looks to be a scoop from what I can tell, although it might be.
Yeah, I'm trying to assume it's a surrender and it's just visual glitch on our end.
I'm guessing that. I guess we'll find out if it's not.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this happen several times. Maybe it was the other way around that happened. I don't know. I'm just going to assume that was just is what it is.
It might have said time limit on my end. I don't know, but
it did say can't loss on my end. Okay. Did it say timeout on your end?
I wasn't looking closely. I was just trying to update the scores. That would be a 1-1 for Uchiha's then. And if not, we'll find out then. But I think that's right. Alright, let's see who they send in next. Score 6-3. And that little light repeat paid off, although it was like a good fight.
Yep.
That worked for that one.
A valiant effort from Super Piece, except the Harpies just had such a rough time. It's disgusting how good Lunalight is against Harpies.
Right. Who is heading next? Let's see. It's always weird when someone accidentally. I don't think it's happened. I don't think it happened this time. But when someone forgets to leave the room or whatever, and they go offline. Okay. So
Oh, did that happen? Oh, that might have happened.
It didn't happen this time. I'm just saying, just an
okay.
off the cuff sort of thing. Like, oh, that's so awkward when it happens when you're in a war.
They do opt to send in Eric's here. On Ami Yugi.
And we're loading slowly. I might need a reboot. I haven't had a reboot today for the stream.
Eric's on bottom with 22 cards.
Yep.
23 card Yami.
And no mat. Well, he has no mat. But he has sleeves. Oh, Fire
He is
King.
on Fire King.
Yep.
This is actually pretty good against Lunalight overall. Immediately going to set up the Garunix. Also going to add Barong, which will, assuming that's a set Barong, it is going to let him generate even more card advantage after this.
I feel like this is a matchup that like the war started with. I feel like it was. Yeah, it was actually. Pretty sure it was. Well, they can buy any. No, it was the same way around.
Is going to summon the Garunix in defense. Is going to play around Cat Dancer Cheese.
No, I'm thinking
I'm
thinking Harpies won for some reason. No, they lost.
No, Harpies are down.
Harpies was Fire Kings was what the war opened up with, and I got confused there. Yeah, he looks like he's in a lot of trouble here because there's no robotic that'll come out.
Hanky Pass is not ideal. Going to destroy Garunix, or not Garunix, going to destroy Arvada to add back another Arvada.
No, you can't summon Arvada, you can summon Barong though, and then summon Arvada. And threaten there.
Yep. Did I say Arvada summon back Arvada? I'm
No, it's summon
aware.
Barong and then normal with Arvada.
Going to try and swing with the Garunix. Yeah, not Garunix. Arvada. Names are hard.
Yeah, the effects are both I believe they're both once per turn, like hard once per turn, but like you can use both of them. Yeah, they're both hard once per turn, but you can use both of them, so it's not either or. Alright, you have two of them. That's why it was making it so awkward, is your hand traps, you have to use two of them to do it with the drop of one. The Arvada's life. This is Kite, in which case you just use both kites, both kite effects. I guess the change has to work your way, or like the materials in hand too. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. He'll be back. Terry died, so he'll be back later. It's fine. Let's start me for a moment, but it's fine. Let's see the Garrosh loops happening. Is it really awkward for Little Lights? Yeah, Little Lights looks done here, because like you summon the Arvada and go in. Alright, and that puts Little Lights out of the picture. As soon as the thing loads. There we go. So it takes them off the table. You're now a 4-6. And they're okay. And Terry will be back. He's relaunching stuff. It's some sort of reboot by the look of it. Yep, reboot. He's not even in the room. Or no, he was also on the room apparently. What's him rebooting now? Whatever. So they can either send in this or no, they got 3 people to choose from still. And they will send in Honduras. Okay. Alright, let's see what we're on. Oh, there's Terry's leaving. Honduras has both his decks, that's right. And that's right. No. Both players have both decks. Yeah, okay, I have it alright. Why? Stream not adjusting? Whatever. No, it is cool. Fire King is opening up again with the Bada and Island. And this is Melodious here? Like, probably Melodious, I guess. Although it's 28 cards? Yeah, 27. That'd be a little weird. We'll see, it's 27 something. 27's already a weird number for a deck. This is turn 2? Oh no, it's adding back, okay. I thought like the Melodious passed. No, they didn't. This is their first turn. It is Melodious, because it's Austin, I don't know. Why do you make the, I guess you're more thinking about materials you're sending. What, you think about blue, maybe? Blue and stall? Is that what we're here for today? He's thinking about it. I don't think that's the opponent thinking about that. They are just thinking about it while Terry is fixing his setup. Giving him time, you know. Stalling for time. Is in fact going, I believe that is materials for yeah, Bloom. So he is going to make the Bloom here. Now you don't get to burn, do you? Because there's a normal summon, right? You gotta use negate, but well, Yeah, you can negate, right? Because it's not damage type only. Or is it not except during damage type, I think. I'm not really sure if you even need a level 3. Maybe because of, I guess, book or something. Fiendish Chain, I guess, also too. Because only battle or card decks is not targeting too. I really see the Austin Arnold get drawn at all, but yeah. Of course, I suppose if they don't have it like turn 1, then they don't need it like turn 2 or later. Because you have a board. Alright, I bought going for a negate. Yeah, that's a fair point, because now thinking about it, I usually only see the Austin Arnold in like the higher deck builds. What they play against. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm guessing back row, like you either book it or your Fiendish Chain or something. You can target the thing still, it's just that you can't destroy it by battle card effects. Oh, that too, you're right, yeah. It sounds like a rough matchup for Fire King, because the banishing also hurts later on. So imagine it would. Alright, swinging in. Might be it if his back row isn't anything. Oh, that's already float, so not. But, Bloom D is on board too, so. I mean, it'll take 150-ish, or what was that, yeah, it's 150. Yeah, there's a book, so. Yeah, it's back row is the answer. And it's possible like their out was his current set. Oof. Well, the back row would be pretty good. Because you can't run hand traps outside of the score in this deck. Assuming you're on that, assuming they're on that skill, which we didn't see yet. Where's the Katali not be on that one? Well, I imagine they would be, but they Katali don't know that. No. Look pretty dead there. And that is game. So Eric's is now 2-0, and Melodi's down a game. See if they want to use, I believe that would be a chance for a repeat. They want to use it, because I believe they have one more left. And they will use the repeat, okay. If I'm reading that right, yeah, okay. I haven't seen it confirmed yet, but yeah, there it is confirmed. We're good. What score is it now? Because they just won. That should put in like, what, 5 and 6, I believe. Yes, 5 and 6. I can do math. Alright, if there's a skill. Let's see what he goes for. Go for another turn 1 blue maybe, or I think I was telling him. I don't think turn 1 blooms here necessarily are that great though. Yeah, fair enough. Sitting on back row. You get the Fire King's back row is how they win this matchup. Here's how they won the other game. We're just gonna say no to the island, makes sense. And breakthrough skill 2. Well, I hope Fire King has a hand trap then, I guess. If they want to go for it, which, like... Oh, it's only... It's the wrong one. It's 37 aboard. That was like the other one, 17. We know it's 14. It's 14-1. Right. Okay. Would you like to fuse, sir? I like to do. Oh, the double attack fusion. Isn't the double attack fusion also like more expensive to make though? Or can you make that with 2 materials? I forget what that one asked for. I thought I asked for like maester, like double maester, or is there 1 maester? I don't remember. I know which ones you're talking about, I just don't remember what its requirements are. But yeah, that will be in their extra deck because that's the other monster. Oh, okay. Well, there's our bottom. Yeah, fair. Yeah, that's right. You're also worried about a hand trap too.
I am maybe back?
Yeah, you're back. We are watching.
Yeah.
We watched them Lotus get clapped, and now they're trying to clap back Fire King.
Nice. I missed absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Book of Moon on the what was it, Bloom into like a board wipe from Fire Kings.
I'm doing a different audio setup now. If my mic ends up giving feedback at any point, let me know, and then I can try and adjust it.
Will do. Oh, there's the Bloom Prima, yeah. Yep, and it was a material leak we made earlier. I'd like to swing. I mean, they can't really float into anything. He doesn't float himself, right? Yeah, can't float to itself. Do you think they have a hand trap?
I do not know what they have. My Duel Links is busy crashing. Oh, there we go. Okay.
He's debating on giving him D-draw or go for lethal, or go for lethal. And there's a Kyroid. So there's a D-draw trigger.
Man.
He's debating to swing in and risk D-draw or lethal with no D-draw or no hand trap.
Am I still in 4 rounds?
I don't think you are, but you might be.
I am. It didn't kick me. Let's go.
I think it did later, but when you hopped back on, I don't know. Like, it didn't display you or whatever.
Who knows?
It's fine. You're back.
I'll spectate after this game. I'll just sit back for now.
The opponent, I believe, went for the Fire King Island draw. Wasn't looking at the draw. Yeah, that would be the third MST because they opened up with 2 of them. And it might be the third set if no, that might have been the breakthrough actually.
No MST number 3. Feels bad, man.
Yeah. It's not yet. Austin auto set, maybe? I don't know. Burn him out. Great Austin auto would have to, I believe, Bloom had to swing like at least twice to do that. You know, poke a few times. Or score. No, score doesn't get you. Score almost gets you. No, score gets you there, yeah, right. Because the, checks their stats. No, he doesn't need his Necrofusion. Now it would be score top deck in that case. No, he's going for a Scoop Recto. Okay. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense because he's Power Kings. Though get that Garrosh off the board would have been nice too. Before doing that. They're killing by battle. I mean, what? Pick Kite, break, and then the back row. I don't think the spell's fun. Oh, you pick your own. Okay, yeah, you're on 2TH then. That's so annoying. It's the only reason why you would target your own traps. Alright, turn to float.
Okay, everything's done crashing now. I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's, but you have time or whatever.
We're chilling. This is a very slow matchup.
It was a quick one earlier, but that's because of the Book of Moon to a full white.
That would do it.
So awful because the melodies are set up for TTH, like that's why they're clearing their. That's the only reason I think that's why they clear their own back row, their own trap cards from the graveyard. So. But you're on a deck that doesn't do as much. Your Versa deck that doesn't do as much. The Bloom scorer would be like really nice. Like if you draw a score and you have access to Bloom off like an Ostinato. Because apparently they were on Ostinato.
I mean, yeah, of course you would. Ostinato is just a broken card.
Yeah, it's just, you don't know where to see outside of turn 1.
I mean, even then, first solo movement, same thing, right?
Right, expectedly. And there's a TTH that they were setting up for, so no shocker.
Oh.
It's actually a little awkward with the summon there, because, you know, a random score in hand, like that was the draw. They're, well, they're not dead now because it was that monster, but oh, they still could be. Is it monsters you control? Okay, no, it's Razor. Oh, adds back. Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I was thinking you summon that, and if he had score, that would be getting there, but this works too. Or maybe. No, because you banish the kite though. Whatever. Maybe a second kite. Okay, this makes sense. You get around you get rid of their Arbotis now. It mattered. Oh, a spear. Okay. Goodbye, or the Grunix. I don't know why I said Arbotis. I'm thinking Grunix.
It's my fault.
I mean, I was
Keep
the one
saying
that.
the wrong
Oh,
name.
they scooped.
That works.
Yeah, I guess Fire King. That was.
Was it time limit or was it a scoop?
It kind of looks like a scoop to me. But I was like, are you dead there? Whatever.
It
You probably
keeps
are, but
giving
I don't
us-
think you are. Cause I would have like show it to me.
keeps giving us connection failed, and it's like,
Ah, whatever.
It's not. It's fine.
Now I forget who was the Fire King. Yeah, I'm not sure either. If I guess
Check the replay.
I mean, if it's thing with the you check the war room later if it mattered. If it turns out to be no issue there.
Hans Andres left of the table.
Okay, well, we're at 6-6 if so. Then if it was all proper.
Eric's out here busy running it back.
Yep. And now they would pick between Vice and Grim. Yeah, I don't think he was dead either, so it was a little weird. I felt like that happened.
I'm going to assume it was time limit. Oh, that repeat was called 13 minutes ago. That makes sense.
Yeah, they did repeat or whatever you mean said. Yeah, I think whether he was dead or not depended on the draw. So that was a little weird. It might have been a timeout. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, we're 6-6, and we're waiting for them to pick. They are picking against Fire Kings. Yeah, I was like, I didn't really see that spear coming in clutch. I guess maybe your life. I don't remember what his life was at. Maybe he's dead to malevolent go direct. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't remember where his life was at.
I don't remember what the
setting
game state was.
Okay.
Super Viz, something, words, I can't pronounce names.
Super Fizz. You know, as in like fizz. Pistol, you know?
Oh, we are seeing Seto Kaiba hit the table. Ooh, we got Blue Eyes coming in.
I mean, waited for most of the war for the spice or whatever. The Melodious or whatever, I guess now we're seeing Blue Eyes. I mean, it's not as spicy, but it's a change from what we've been saying, I guess.
You know, Blue Eyes does have a fairly decent Fire King matchup. It's just if you can get Azure out, like they can't really do much about it. But that's a pretty big if.
Viz flexing the KC mat.
Normal summon Ancients, immediately gonna get booked. Not even going to risk it.
You got the ancient rules. There's
Does
an ancient
have
rules.
the Ancient. Big Dragon gonna swing over the Arvada.
Nothing to float into.
No.
It's nothing
Eric's
grave, yeah.
position.
Just a book, so yeah.
Eric's is in a top deck position. If his best play earlier was Summon Arvada Pass, he definitely needs a good top deck here. I think Fire King Island might be perfect for him.
That's
He
Onslaught.
does actually have Onslaught. That was not the top deck. That was in the middle of his hand, I believe.
Yeah, but he couldn't use it, so that's why it was there.
He couldn't use it. He couldn't use it, but
Still not an ideal spot though, if you're gonna wipe the board, because now it's a stone and he wants to go in, his skill's online. If he drew another Blue Eyes. Because I didn't decide
Eric
what
says
he
one
wants to do.
unknown card. The Barong pop is going to potentially let him search for a Fire King card, most likely going to be Fire King Island in his standby phase.
Alright, the Sage. Got a stone.
Revealing that he did have the Sage.
Another Sage.
The
You know if that was a
Sage,
neutral
that's
or not.
the big dragon.
Yep. It's going to battle, okay. Kinda awkward you don't have any backer or what.
I'm assuming we are now in end phase. Super V's is debating if he wants to use the entrance or not. Activating it could potentially
We're just
give
going
the
in phase
Grunix,
on
or
mine.
not the Grunix, the Arvada. He does choose to do so. The Arvada is able to negate this.
Yep.
If this is a Grunix, it is not, it is a Barong. Which is still pretty good overall. He is going to get 2 searches here, I believe. There does not seem to be a restriction on Barong.
If I just self is the only restriction.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you really want to add back self, but you can't, so. Alright, this island. And your opponent has a follow-up, it's just you don't have much to go against at the moment, so if you can find lethal, then you're fine.
He is going to actually pop the Arvada that you just searched. I assume he's going to summon back Grunix from grave off of this.
I wouldn't
He
guess
will-
a spear or anything.
Will opt to summon it back. This will allow Grunix to try and loop starting next turn.
I was thinking. Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't think he has much to stop you. You can find a way over the Blue Eyes.
Nope.
And then go for game. But Blue Eyes doesn't have follow-up. If not, so. We should have follow-up anyway, unless that backer's really good.
Arvada here going to summon a Barong from grave in attack position.
Well, we only
Not too sure.
I'm just thinking of stuff, what can you do? I don't know if we had another Blue Eyes or not.
Putting in attack position is fine. I was thinking it might not have been good to put in attack position, but no, the life points are very, very good to leave this in attack position.
It's like a triple fusion, but you can't make that yet, so. Could you not go for... I was wondering about that, because I was kind of thinking how he would find lethal, but he didn't go for it, so...
He didn't have Barong in... If he had that...
I don't remember what his normal summon was. Or if he had,
Maybe? I'm not sure. I don't remember what game state was. Maybe he could have.
You still know normal summon's a little forehand, yeah, he could have done that, but... I don't know.
He used Fire King Island on the Fire King on hand, and instead of searching Arvada, he searched Barong. He could have special summoned Barong. Arvada would have summoned back. Yeah, I guess he could have, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
He could have actually gone like Spider plus Grunix even.
That's kind of what I was thinking, like that's what he would do, but we didn't see that.
Fine, it is what it is.
I think the Blue Eyes has a crackback here.
does have normal summon ancients that he searched the previous turn.
Right, it's most likely the same ancients.
Hmm.
You're gonna book a movement.
Immediately. With the book. Not even going to risk it. Ooh, set card pass.
I think the blue eyes had a fallout, but then again, I didn't actually know if he had a blue eyes in hand as a thing, because we know there was 2 engraved and there was only 1 stone at the time. I knew there were 1 in hand,
we'll
but,
be getting it.
yeah.
This is only. It's hard to even have left in deck. He doesn't have any Garunix left. Revealing that he does actually play 2 Onslaught.
He's gone through quite a bit of his monster lineup. All the Avaros are gone, 2 of the Barongs, which might be, I don't know if you're on 3 of that. You only see 1 Garunix so far.
Can Baron search
Oh,
Baron?
I don't think on fields.
No, Baron cannot search Baron.
Yeah, it's the only card you can't search off of Barong.
Yeah. Eric's is spending a good amount of time thinking about his play here. He is going to decide to use the Fire King. Destroys Garunix from hand. I thought he would do it from field, but nope, this works too.
Now the 3rd one's in hand.
He's just going to swing into the Ancients. And now he's going to try and set up the Garunix loop. Or not try and set up, it is set up.
I feel like you care more about the mystery back row at this point. I don't know. I mean, the opponent's on spears and was it like a kite maybe? But
Maybe. Ooh, Bench
yeah,
is
better.
breakthrough skill.
because both the Avenue Garunix is slow anyway if you remove the field spell.
Now this isn't unwinnable for Super Vs. If he can, Azurize here is still very good for him. It's just a matter of whether or not he can get it out or not.
Wrath is
Oh,
pretty
actually,
sweet, though.
Divine Wrath is actually going to break the loop. Discards Ancient Rules, which means he must be pretty confident in the other cards in his hand to discard a card that could have potentially pushed for lethal.
Yeah, because I believe there should be a Stone Engrave, right? Yeah.
Yep. There is. Are we going to finally see an alternative at the field?
Or, you know, Fusion.
Or anything, really, yeah. He does have the 3rd and final Ancients. He is going to be able to play a level 9 Synchro.
Also, I'm not mistaken, the 2 cards in his hand are both Blue Eyes.
I have not been paying enough attention, but I believe they
Well, he only had 2
probably are.
available, and they're both there now.
He is going to go for the Spirit Dragon. This is very, very good in this matchup. He's going to go for the Polymerization. And this could be it. We do see...
This game.
Okay. The delay we saw was on Super V's side. That is game.
The Spirit could tag out. Or whatever that's what delay.
Yeah.
Delay.
Yep. That's what the delay was. Alright then.
Hopefully that puts V's at what, 1-0? And now 7-6.
DLL up a game.
And I believe I need to... I don't remember if I checked about the names right on the display. Oh well.
Oh, you did.
Okay.
Was on top.
Right, okay. There we go. Something I just don't think about until after to check. Parkus, okay. Pretty back and forth war outside of well, there's some streaks in there, like
Super V's with
After
a
the streaks out of the way, it became a little back and forth.
Super V's with a very solid Sage Cards of Consonance opening here. This is going to let him banish the Harpies hunting ground immediately, not going to let Harpies even try and pop anything for the rest of the game.
I'm guessing he's on more like Divine Raz, Karma Cuts.
Yeah.
Because he's
The
something out of left
standard.
field, like a maybe he's on like
Drowning?
no, the what's the Parshath trap? That'd be funny.
Oh, the...
I don't think it's good. It's funny.
The funny card.
Yeah. Well, I love that deck with like Desperado.
Ooh. Normal summon Cyber Harpy Lady. Not what you like to see as a Harpy player. Not completely unplayable, but definitely not what you like to see. He is spending a wild think, which means he is trying to get a read for that back row before progressing here. Is that one?
Like I imagine you're either hoping that they're either trying to bait out the thing or hope they don't because you have an egotist.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I think you kind of want the what you call it, the Swallow's Nest. You're doing that.
Yeah.
It's also awkward because that's one of your targets for the egotist.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the other one turns out that was in hand.
Mm-hmm. After long deliberation, chooses to set a second card.
Yeah, fair enough. I was thinking he might
Yes.
have had it last game, but it's not
Yeah, he could have. Yes, in chat, he could have done that to win the game. That was a possible play.
And there's the karma. Do you have the nest? You do have the nest, okay.
Actually, could he have done that? No, because he can't barrel for barrel.
That's whatever.
It's fine. It is what it is. We move on.
It's not what happened either way.
Yeah. Does have the Swallow's Nest. Does tag into Harpist. He is going to be able to destroy the Sage. Ancients here in end phase going to summon Big Dragon.
Big dragon.
The best card, Big Dragon. Now Super V's potentially threatens lethal here depending on the card in hand and or the top deck, and just what he decides to do overall.
No, he plays it right, but he might have lethal.
Spirit Dragon is actually huge for Super V's here because he can just negate Harvest outright.
Yeah. Just proceeding to battle. Celesting. That's what he does. Welcome mode.
I guess he doesn't have the tuner.
Okay.
Book on the Dragon Spirit of White.
It's a little sus. That's what he does.
Not sure how to feel about that one, especially considering how that one there can tag
Like, I feel like
out.
you're trying to force a tag out or bluff, maybe.
The only thing I can think of is like, this is treacherous, right?
Yeah.
But
Or
that's
you
all I
want
can
to bluff,
think of
you have a
here.
Tretch back there.
Yeah. Does summon the Blue Eyes. Does he have the Tretch? It is possible.
I mean, either way, you just swing in and find out.
Does let the attack go through, which makes sense. It could still be treacherous. It is a second Book of Moon. Okay. The play makes sense.
I mean, the problem
One
with
of the
like
forces
with
of
bluffing
Rinzo.
is that the opponent could just take it. Well, and try to take it in theory because they don't. You don't have lethals. They're not as good. Like I don't know. They're not as good as a bluff
No.
either way. I guess I don't know.
No, that's fair. He wanted to force the Blue Eyes out of hand so he couldn't.
Yeah, that makes more sense
make a
rather
decision.
than the bluff line because the bluff line they weren't threatening lethal or anyway. So
Mhm.
even with the tag out.
He is going to search for Channeler. This means he most likely. This means
No,
the
they
other
were,
hand is
whatever.
most likely a Harpy card.
They weren't threatening. Okay, yeah. See, they weren't threatening lethal before the tag out.
Mm-hmm. Summon Channeler activates Swallow Nest immediately from hand. Not particularly ideal. Maybe the Channeler search was not the correct search here, especially considering the Swallow's Nest. Don't know if that was a top deck or not. I was not paying attention.
It's fine.
Someone's Perfumer. Divine Wrath going to negate it, and that looks like it's most likely game.
No idea. Another box fight.
Unless treacherous.
No idea when they're putting Pokemon in the main or whatever.
Oh.
They're still one in the mini. They're still one
He
selection.
scoops it up. Eric scoops it up. Super Bees winning another game. Eric's is now off the table, putting the Legends down to their last player, Priest.
Yep.
There's probably a joke to be made about praying for a victory here, but I can't think of a creative one enough, so I'll just say that I thought about one.
Okay. You had the premise of one.
the potential was there. I just couldn't think of one.
Yep. Priest is up a deck, or get back his decks. Melodious?
I did not realize it was up.
Is this their first Melodious or the other team's Melodious? I don't remember who had the Melodious last time. I think the other team had Melodious.
Melodious lost, so
I think it was on the other team now. And this one's 30.
Who had it?
I think it was the other team. The one on Blue Eyes, that team had it, I think.
Yeah. It was A team. Who knows?
A team.
We professional.
I could just
bastards.
check the
Let's go.
scoreboard and figure out who it was, but... Yes, there can only be one 07 here. That's what they're fighting for right now.
We're fighting not to be.
It depends on how you look at it.
Very straightforward turn one from Super V's here. Cards of Consonant Ancients, just 3 cards. It looks to me like the Melodious player potentially bricked with a set 3.
Well, it's not necessarily clear with Melodious, so with a set 3 on 30 if they bricked or not.
I mean, a lot of the time though, right? Like the best card in their deck is like either like some of the fusions or like Score.
Right,
Or,
I'm just saying,
any of their
they could
spells.
sit on their back row, but they might just be bricked here.
There can only be one and you're not looking at him. That's funny. Voice hacking directly, gonna book the Blue Eyes.
I do like that. Just took a moment. Shaking my head.
Super V is definitely in a favorable position, apparently. Let's see what Priest has. If he can top deck his way out of this or not.
No,
Nope.
at least he's happy with his back row.
He goes straight to end phase. It's not what you like to see.
Either
Not
he's
like
just
this.
control with those back row.
Super Beast is going to make a push for it. Is he about to run face first into a treacherous trap hole? Let us find out very shortly.
I wouldn't be out of
He's
the
going to
question because the deck would
He's going to go
use
for
your
Dragon
element.
Spirit of White. Target the middle card. The middle card is TKH. It is not. It was a Necro Fusion. Ooh.
We'd like to hit the other card if it was something else. Except Fusion isn't doing anything.
No, did not do anything right now. He is going to Xyz into the Senapon? No, he is going to go for Heliopolis.
Oh, were you looking at the number or whatever? No,
I
this
was
one's not a
thinking
number
of,
or
like-
whatever. Oh, it's MST.
No, I wasn't paying attention to that. I saw an Xyz and I was thinking like,
Oh,
what
okay, so
can
the
make that
opponent
does
was
something here?
bricked there. Okay, feels bad.
I was thinking like what rank he can make. He's going to just tribute a Blue Eyes from hand. Don't know how I feel about not just swinging.
I mean, if
here,
you have the
but-
third Blue Eyes, then you've just won.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about not just swinging.
You
here,
could have
but
attributed
each-
itself and made the triple fusion if you wanted to.
Nope.
Just for
Nope.
style.
This makes sense. He had it. He just. That's it.
I'm just saying
Unless
he
Triple-
could have done like tribute himself and like
Yeah.
triple blue eyes, you know.
Nah, it's fine. It really it's the same thing.
It is, but I'm just saying more flashy.
Yeah. Priest can't run any hand traps in his deck. His skill stops doing so. So this is just games. Super V's. It is now match point 9-6. Match point 9-6 for DLL. And now it all comes down to whether or not Priest can sweep with his last deck, or if he will fall victim to any of
The other decks.
DLL's remaining decks. Words. I was
Yep,
going to
yep.
say something about like if Blue Eyes is going to be too much to handle. I
We
don't
don't know what the other deck is, so yeah, other decks are.
I'm gonna see what the other deck is.
Or 3 decks actually.
Ooh, Yummy Yugi. That could be like 4 different decks.
Oh, we're still loading in.
It is
There
20
it is.
cards. It is most likely going to be Gaia.
Oh, we'll see then.
Gaia is on the draw here. Ooh,
Oh,
Blue Eyes
that's
with just
fast.
set 1 at.
I mean, if it's a guy, this is a good time to, you know.
We're going to see an eccentric.
Nope,
Nope,
it's Luna.
it is Luna Light.
Unless you're playing that in Fire King. You could, so.
Yeah. I don't know. You have the
I'm
space
still thinking
for it
Luna.
in 20 cards?
What?
Do you have the space for tanky and 20 card Fire King?
I mean, I don't see them on it, but,
Yeah,
they could.
they could, but
And it is Luna. Well, it's Fire King Luna. You know, both. Don't ask me how that works, I don't think it does.
Adela Martin normal summons Crimson Fox, not the strongest opening from Priest. Going to swing directly for
Just putting
1800.
pressure, which, I don't know, like, I guess if you have hand traps, you're fine, but if you don't, this is...
yeah.
I guess if you don't have hand traps, though, then you gotta press somehow. Because it's like a back
Inactivating-
row, we already know, like, Biz is on, counter traps, so...
Him activating Tanky immediately implies that it's quite possible he has another Tanky in hand already.
I actually think it's kind of fine to, like, to put pressure here, because, like, if you're dead to, like, a Divine Wrath, then you're dead either way, honestly. It's like a hand
Mhm.
trap.
Let's see what Priest can do from here.
Like, if he has a Divine Wrath, and you can't rely on your hand traps anyway. If
He
he's-
does,
if he's
in
going
fact-
to one swing.
He does in fact have a second Tanky. He is going to search for White Rabbit this time. Does summon the Emerald Bird. Emerald Bird are going to discard, I assume, just Yellow Martin, cycle some cards, gain some card advantage.
It might actually not take a while, depends on, like, if you make... depends on the back row, I guess, at that point.
It really does depend on the back row. If he doesn't have anything live, this could outright just game here.
Yep. Yeah, I think putting pressure with the Fox is fine, because you're dead to, the counter trap either way if you don't. If they
He's
want
going
to
to use Martin's
extend.
effect. Martin's effect will resolve here. Priest sitting on a pretty 10 total cards on field. On turn 4.
It's like, there's no way you don't fusion summon here. Perfectly go for the, triple.
He is going to go for the Lunar Light
Now, an
Fusion
Ultimate
here.
Providence would hurt here, but we'll find out if it's what it is or not in a moment.
Commit Providence, discard cards of consonants one time. Because if you don't, this might be it. Like what traps are stopping? What
Pretty much
traps
just
in Blue
Hollow
Eyes?
Light Barrier, I'm pretty sure.
Perhaps. Hold Life Barrier, like, you don't run Floodgate in Blue Eyes. You might, but more in side format, I'd say. More common in. Does Fuse 3, makes Saber Dancer. Did send Purple Butterfly to hand. We know at least one of the cards in his hand.
You don't want his text too.
Hmm.
I don't think Butterfly is necessarily mained all the time.
Are we gonna see a Drowning?
I would like to see a Drowning this more.
I would really like to see a Drowning.
Oh, there's a hollow.
Followed by Barrier instead. Close enough.
That's the
Does
card we were
destroy
thinking
the
that that would, like, you survive no matter what. Also makes sense why you passed him, because it was hollowed, then you don't die no matter what the first turn. Unless you have like Night Beam, or the other fire formation, which aren't going on.
Ruby here does get to summon the Blue Eyes from his deck, gonna leave it in defense mode. Let's see what he is able to do to the Saber Dancer.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking hollow until like, you're saying, what is it? What would have him survive? Like hollow, and that's about it.
Yeah. Hollow. Yep. Super Beans is spending a while thinking that is probably not ideal. He does have the ancient. He is going to be able to try and make an aggressive push here. Or some kind of push here. He is going to go Spirit Dragon in attack mode. Going to try and destroy a monster, I suppose.
I mean, Spirit will get to be able to tag out later, so...
Yep. Banishing the Ancient that he sent previously with Hollow Bear. At least I assume that's the Ancient he's banishing. If he's not, oh boy, unless there's a reason for it.
I think tracking can be a little weird sometimes, but I think they made that better. There's Spirit Grievous, okay.
Here, Kuriboh going to prevent Crimson Fox destruction.
It's still kind of fine though.
That's fine. He wanted to make a rank 4.
I mean, it's fine. Also fine with the Blue Eyes too, because like if you can't prevent them from tagging out, and I don't think you can, like, you won't be able to target the monster next time. Unless you have like a. I mean, you have like out like a smash, like a I don't know, a vortex or whatever. Then you have a vortex, but yeah.
Oh, we can see summons Brother to the Fire Fist Tiger King.
Oh yeah, this is an out, I suppose. Yeah, you can do this. Yeah, I forgot this card. And they're on this card lately, so that would have made sense. Yeah. Oh, time to wrath it maybe.
He does need to negate this, or this is potentially just a game.
You want to wrath it? I mean, I would if we have it, unless we have another hollow. I think I would even consider a Karma Dit if I had one. Oh, no, okay, I guess we have a hollow maybe. Or like a Karma, but what did you say, Karma earlier?
Let's not go
nothing,
through, and that
it was something. I don't know what this backer was, but it weren't those.
Didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Priest going to win the game. 1 down, 3 to go. Still needs to beat Super V's second deck. Let us see what he brings to the table next.
Yeah, I have no idea what those backer actually were then. I think most of them would have been fine there, but it's. I guess maybe it was a spell. I don't know what those were. Maybe it was Karma. We just didn't think about it too late.
Perhaps. Super V's back on the table.
I don't know.
Let's see what he is playing. We do see Yugi coming in.
All players are what? Down a deck? Yeah.
Priest is on the draw this time. Super V is on a 24 card Yugi. This is Fire King, could be Fire King, could be Thunder Dragon, could be Lunalight, who knows?
Could be a mirror somehow.
Yeah. That would be an interesting one.
Goes to deck out.
GD is looking pretty likely. Fire King is also looking pretty likely. We've seen a good amount of Fire King already, though, so
we haven't seen any. We haven't
see.
seen any Thunder, so it's Fire King.
Yeah.
I would guess more. We've seen multiple Fire Kings on both teams, I think. Or it felt like multiple.
Priest here, opening the very standard Emerald Bird Yellow Martin combo. And he's just going to pass on that. He must be pretty confident in his hand traps. Previous year spending a while thinking.
I mean, I wouldn't think so, but I would find it amusing if it was a mirror. It's not, but...
It is Fire King. Priest has a very uphill... It is looking like Priest is going to have an uphill battle here. Set 1, set 2. Priest swings in. He's going to swing direct for 1800.
No, it's not. They don't even get the search because we got banished.
Priest is going to use the Spear Kuriboh now, preventing the direct attack. Okay.
Oh, they got search earlier, but yeah. They don't get another one.
Yeah. Garunix going to pop the Barong, unless Barong gets summoned back somehow. Gets removed from the graveyard. He will get to search a Fire King card, most likely Fire King Island.
If it is a 20-minute match, we still finish under the 3-hour mark, though. There's a response chat there.
Ideally.
Like, we're not breaking 6 hours today, at least it's not looking like it. It would be interesting if we do, though, because imagine how long those last 3 games did all go an hour. Just saying. Because right now it's 7-9. Just hear me out. Like, if they win, there's at least, what, 2 more?
We do see Emerald Bird coming in. Fiendish Chain on the Emerald Bird, going to prevent the discard itself.
So if every game, including this one, lasts like 70 minutes, we will break the record.
It's fine, I believe.
Yeah. Duel Links games can last 70 minutes, right? Yes. They absolutely can. It's not. It doesn't happen every day.
Lunalight Fusion going to come out in spite of the Fiendish Chain onto the Emerald Bird. Does opt to make Saber Dancer here. Emerald Bird going to summon back, I assume, Yellow Martin here. Saber Dancer will swing into the Garunix. Garunix's effect will let him summon Arvada. And I believe Super V's might be able to set up the Garunix loop here, depending on what his top deck is, or card in hand is.
And his Urge, maybe.
If he has a Garunix here, if he has a Garunix in hand, he definitely has... He can establish the loop, otherwise he can at least set up a board wipe. Maybe not the loop, but he can at least set up a board wipe here. He is going to opt to pop the Arvada on field, which will trigger its effect, in order to summon back, I assume, the Garunix here.
Yeah, it looks like what they're doing. There's a Barong too, apparently.
So gonna summon Barong, trying to thin his deck, I suppose.
Well, it's not walling up.
He is going to swing into the Yellow Martin, might as well. I mean, actually, you want to, you don't want to give him a free Lunalight Fusion, so...
Chat's thinking he's dead next turn, we'll see. They might be right, we'll see.
It still depends on what Priest has as hand traps. It's possible he still has more. Depends on what
it's
else
not
he
a
can
great spot
use.
to begin with, against fire, against like no extra deck monsters.
Yeah, he's definitely not in a great position here.
Pretty bad.
We did see earlier that their Lunalight players were playing 2 Yellow Martin, 1 Emerald Bird. Possible if they are all following the same trim. He's just going to try and generate some card advantage here, try and wall up a bit, try and prevent a push for lethal, I suppose.
There's one more Martin available in Birds and Grave. Oh, hello. Let's see, what's that?
Duel Links Entertainment, rating with 111.
Oh, yeah, thank you. You have rated 111 today.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, we're watching a war, I don't know, like these, 2 06 teams trying not to be the 07th, or I guess we're trying to figure out who the 07 will be. Oh, there's a fusion, yeah, on it. Yeah, there wasn't many memes today. But the war's not over yet.
It is wonderful.
Yep. Right now we're watching Fire Kings and Little Light. I think we've seen multiple from both teams, or at least it's felt like we've seen multiple from both teams.
FK really is the best meme.
Oh, Fire King, yeah.
Yeah, everyone trying to get perfect card game. It's like, what else are you gonna do?
I don't know, bring, what was it last time? Fortune Lady?
Oh. This
Maybe that happened, but it
2018.
actually happened when we were in the street.
Fortune Lady. Was Fortune Lady 2018 or 2019? 2018, right?
Yeah, we saw a year later, so I think we might actually saw it 2 years later at that time when I'm talking about. Maybe 2020 we saw that.
Oh.
It didn't win, but it's street.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun one to watch.
The Fortune Lady was with Alistair, so it was.
Anyways, he's adding another Burrong. Turn 8 max. I guess that you're saying the game ends in a moment. Yeah, fair enough. For next turn. You might not be wrong. You might be right. You might be on the money. So yeah, it's not clear how the opponent can come back. It's now or never. Alright. I guess Arvada and then never if there's another Arvada in rotation. It'd be the third one.
Garunix Loop is live. It is quite difficult for Lunalight to break the Garunix. Pulls on Arvada. Going to swing directly with the Arvada. Does Priest have a hand trap? Even if he does, it is most likely not enough.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Yep, Super Bees closing out the war.
For Duel Links Latin America, they win this war 10-7.
And that means the Legends are 0-7 and the Duel Links Latam is 1-6. I guess last thing to do is like interviews and then maybe host. Yeah, hey, 11's best of 20. I actually don't know how to drag them into the interview room thing.
11 is closer to 20 than it is 0. Easy clap.
I actually don't know. No, I can't even do the raid, I don't think. Yep. Just ask if they want to interview or whatever, and then. You're right. I know the typo. I don't know why I flipped that up to 8.
Oof.
It's fine. Yeah, 7-10. And then, yeah, okay. Okay, winner. It's usually implied to be winner, but whatever. No, okay, they're good. Yeah, I don't know who does the raids or whatever. No, he says he's good. Is there anyone live for a raid or whatever? Because I actually don't think I have the power to do it.
I think you need to be host.
Like I have the stream. I'm like streaming, but I don't think I don't have the management, obviously. Yeah, oh, we don't have a host. We have another match in 17 minutes. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Well, we can't keep you guys here for 17 minutes, but they'll be live. We'll be live later at around 5 p.m. EST.
Soon, TM.
Yeah, soon. So yeah, I believe that will be that then. Thank you for watching.
Goodbye.